Hello students, today we are discussing on Virginia Woolf. She is a British writer. Virginia's mother died from a very early age, and at that time she suffered her first mental breakdown. She also went through a sexual abuse by her stepbrother. Virginia was not allowed to attend college. Because of this reason, she wrote a work on Shakespeare's sister, a symbolic character, that is Judith Shakespeare. The work is A Room of One's Own, which was published in 1929. In this work, Virginia says that all the opportunities and freedom which men are enjoying is not given to women. This may be a reason why women are not intellectually growing up like men. She married to Leaonard Woolf and started Hoggart Press. They started this in 1907, and this press was located at their house, and the house is called Hoggart House. Virginia was also related to the famous intellectual group, that is Bloomsburry group. In this Hoggart Press, they have published international classics in translation and all the other British works. Here I am going to give a chronological order of Virginia's works. Please remember the publishing dates of all these works, because they may ask it in the NET exam. First one is Voyages Out. It was published in 1915. The original title of Voyages Out is Melinbrosia. In this novel, Clarissa Dalloway is first introduced in this novel, Voyages Out. It's about a group of people moved in a ship to South America. The protagonist in this novel is Rachel Vinrace. Next work is Jacob's Room. It was published in 1922. It's an indirect study of character. So it is called a classical work, because throughout the novel we cannot see the character Jacob, but the novel is giving only the details about Jacob. So we can call this as an indirect study of character. It was published in 1922. Next important work is Mrs.Dalloway, published in the year 1925. This work, the main character is Clarissa Dalloway. The novel is about a party organized by Clarissa Dalloway, and it revolves around the incidents happening in this party. Actually, this work is based on two short stories written by Virginia, that is Mrs. Dalloway in Broad Street and Prime Minister. Richard Dalloway is the husband of Clarissa, and daughter's name is Elizabeth. Many years ago, a character called Peter Wash proposed to Mrs. Dalloway, but she rejected. Actually, she loved Sally Seton. Sally Seton is a lover of Mrs. Dalloway. Another character in this novel is Septimus Warren Smith. He is an educated one, this Septimus Warren Smith, and he is a great fan of Shakespeare. He loves Shakespeare and all his works. This Septimus is having the shocks of World War First. He experienced shell shock, and he has gone through all the calamities and traumas of World War First, and because of this he becomes mad, and at the end of the novel he commits suicide by jumping from the window. In this novel, that is Mrs. Dalloway, there is a famous lines, that is, "Fear no more the heat of the sun." This was asked in the NET exam. So Mrs. Dalloway is about Clarissa Dalloway, and this novel is a third important work of Virginia Woolf, and it was published in 1925. Fourth important work, and that's the most important work of Virginia Woolf, that is To the Lighthouse. It was published in 1927. It was written in the stream of consciousness mode. Virginia Woolf herself called this as the best of her works. There are three parts for this To the Lighthouse, that is Window, Time Passes and Lighthouse. The story is about Mr. and Mrs. Ramsay, who is in their summer house, and the name of the house is Eyes of Sky. They are with their children. Mr. and Mrs. Ramsay with their children. Cam is a daughter. Another True is the eldest daughter, and James is the youngest daughter. Sorry, the youngest son is James. Another important character in this novel is Lilly Briscoe. She is a painter. She is painting the picture of Mrs. Ramsay. It was revealed in the last part of the novel. Another important character in this novel is Charlse Stansle. He is a philosophy student, and he is a male chauvinist. Charlse Stansle is a male chauvinist who thinks that women cannot do anything. Another two characters are two lovers, Fall Riley and Minda Doyle. They are engaged in this first part of the novel, and in the second part we see that is after 10 years we see that Mrs. Ramsay dies due to psychological illness and due to some problems during her childbirth. And in the third part, Lilly Briscoe is completing her painting, and her words are, "I have had my vision." Actually, we see that Lilly is painting the picture of Mrs. Ramsay. So, in this novel a character in this novel figures as a picture. Actually, this lighthouse is a symbol of permanence in the midst of change, because in all the three stages everything is changed. The life of every characters are changed, except this lighthouse. The lighthouse is permanent, so it's a symbol of permanence. And also, lighthouse celebrates life in the death and order in the chaos. Order here means there are a lot of problems and confusions in the characters of the novel, but still there is an order. That's why Lilly Briscoe has finished her painting, and we can see that there is a celebration of life, because even though Mrs. Ramsay is dead, she is living through the picture made by Lilly Briscoe. The last lines of To the Lighthouse are, "It was done, it was finished." Yes, she thought. Laying down the brush in extreme fatigue, "I have had my vision." The last lines of this novel is, "I have had my vision." The first lines of this novel is, "Yes, of course, if it's fine tomorrow." This is spoken between Mrs. Ramsay and her youngest son James. She says that if it's a fine tomorrow, you can go out. So please remember the first and last dialogues of this novel, Light to the Lighthouse, which was published in 1927. Next, that is the fifth important work of Virginia Woolf is Orlando, which is published in 1928. This was inspired by the family history of Vita Sackville West. Actually, this character Orlando has transferred from man to woman. Orlando, born in Elizabethan era as a woman and lived for 300 years. This Orlando accidentally shifted his sex from man to woman. She has a lifespan from Elizabethan period to 19th century. So she lives for about 300 years. During this period, she met lots of literary figures, and in one of the net exams they have asked who is Shel. In which novel this Shel belongs to. Shel was a character in the novel Orlando by Virginia Woolf, published in 1928. So we can say that this novel is a search of fictional figures from Elizabethan period to 19th century. This novel offers a fictionalized survey of English literature. Another important novel is The Waves, published in 1931. It's a soliloquy spoken by 6 characters. They spoke through the means of stream of consciousness. It was published in 1931. And the last important work of Virginia is Between the Acts, which was published in 1941. It was about a play which stages in a village between a group of before a group of rich people, and it was about to start before the Second World War. This novel has many philosophical aspects because it was this play. They are playing this staging this drama just before the Second World War, and after that the whole human race suffered much calamities. So these all are the important works of Virginia Woolf. And please do subscribe my channel. Thank you.